on guns on Capitol Hill, especially when a very well-known survivor of gun violence, Gabby Giffords, came forward to deliver her own remarks. And yet, during the hearing, we learned of another shooting, this one in Arizona, a workplace, one gunman, 3 shooting victims, 1 fatal. We begin tonight with this emotional issue. Our report from NBC's Kelly O'Donnell on Capitol Hill.
Good evening, Brian. The passion's so deep, this hearing room was packed, included many families and survivors, victims of other shootings. And it was a group of people asking Congress to do something, and that is the cause that changed the life of former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords and brought her back to Washington today. Her gift of speech is a distant memory, said husband Mark Kelly, yet Gabby Giffords' halting words. Too many children. Here as a survivor of the Tucson assassination attempt that left her partially blind and partially paralyzed. You must be bold, be courageous. Giffords and Kelly, both gun owners, want Congress to expand background checks to gun shows and private sales to make it harder for criminals and the mentally ill to get weapons.
My wife would not be sitting in this seat. She would not have been sitting here today if we had stronger background checks.
But this first hearing on guns since the Newtown massacre had another center of gravity. The National Rifle Association CEO, Wayne LaPierre.
Should we have mandatory background checks at gun shows?
If you're a dealer, that's already the law.
Of all the gun-related ideas on the table, Democrats believe universal background check has the best chance politically.
Will stop them from the original purchase. You missed that point completely. And I think it's basic.
Senator, I think you missed it.
The NRA says adding new laws would hit ordinary citizens, not criminals.
My problem with background checks is you're never going to get criminals to go through universal background checks.
Many Democrats want to limit magazines to 10 bullets, while Republicans think self-defense may require more.
1 bullet in the hand of a mentally unstable person or a convicted felon is 1 too many. 6 bullets in the hands of a mother protecting her twin 9-year-olds may not be enough.
Today, in an interview with Telemundo's Jose Diaz-Balart, President Obama said new restrictions could make a difference.
Even if it doesn't save every person who's a potential victim of gun violence, but we save a few. You know, if we don't do that, shame on us.
And the president goes on the road to Minnesota Monday to sell his own reforms. And many Republicans and members of the NRA are saying prosecutors today need to do more to enforce the laws that are already on the books. Brian?
Kelly O'Donnell after a big day on the Hill. Kelly, thanks. There are fewer places in this country with tougher gun laws than the city of Chicago. There are no gun stores in the city, and yet nowhere in this country is the problem of gun violence more dramatic than in the president's hometown. There were a staggering 506 murders in Chicago last year, most of them due to gun violence. This year is off to an awful start, 42 murders already. Behind every one of those stats is a human tragedy, including the shooting death yesterday of a teenage girl. I'll report tonight from NBC's John Yang.
Today, family and friends mourned 15-year-old Hadia Pendleton, killed yesterday in a quiet Southside neighborhood less than a mile from President Obama's Chicago home. Just last week, she was in Washington for the inauguration as a member of her high school drill team.
Hurts to know that another good one is gone.
She was shot once in the back as she huddled with a group of teens under a canopy, escaping the rain.
She was with her crowd. The kids are doing the right things. The kids with promising futures, that's trying to become somebody special.
Since Saturday, Chicago has recorded 11 homicides, 9 by gunshot. The toll on parents across the city is mounting. Shirley Chambers hangs up the suit she just bought for her son Ronnie, the suit he'll be buried in. 33-year-old Ronnie Chambers was killed on Chicago's west side early Saturday, shot in the head with what police say was an assault weapon.
I thought sure Ronnie was going to grow to be an old man. I really did. But God called him home.
He was Shirley Chambers' last surviving child. A big brother, Carlos, was shot to death in 1995 at age 18. His little sister, Latoya, then 15, and his older brother, Jerome, 23, were killed in separate shootings in 2000. At the funeral home, she picked out a casket.
It was one with the 4 little doves. Like, God just sent me that. This is the one. They all 4 of them.
All together again.
Yes, all together again.
She wants to see tougher gun laws.
It's too much. I don't want no mother, no father, nobody has to go through what I went through.
A mother who's lost all her children, now focused on protecting the children of others. John Yang, NBC News, Chicago.